Nigel. Can I ask you a very quick question on the FA Cup, first of all? When you heard the draw and it could have been Man United or Aston Villa, what did you think?
I'm never sure it works like that. I don't know if it'd have been a different number or whatever. So yeah, it would have been lovely to have gone to one of those grounds, but wasn't to be. But it wasn't through lack of effort or anything like that. Just a little bit short on the day against Middlesbrough. But as I say, so many good things, and it was unbelievably good cup tie, and how well we played for 60, 70 minutes of the game gives us a lot of encouragement. It takes 48 hours at least to sit back and look at it and think, I tell you what, we played well Saturday. We played really, really well at times.
You've always said to me that you believe in building on negatives as well as positives. Were there some things in that game which you would pinpoint now that you'd say these are things we need to work on for the remaining 24 league games this season?
Yeah, little things mainly, or big things probably. We need to make more of the situations we're creating, and that's been the case for a few months now. I think some of our play deserves more shots on target, more efforts on goal, and we have to concentrate more on hitting the target, full stop, because our attacking play, I think we had officially 15 shots on Saturday and only 3 on target. So that tells its own story. We have to concentrate more in that final third and just look for that. We're never going to have the same sort of quality that Middlesbrough have and when you play teams from higher leagues, but we still should be doing better in and around the penalty area with such good play.
Yeah, looking at the goals scored and the goal differences and things like that, clearly an area you need to work on. Suffering something from that 14-game spell. But now you'll be looking to get more goals very clearly, won't you?
Well, I think with the way we've played in the last few weeks, we scored 3 at home to Hartlepool. We scored 2 on Saturday against the Championship side. And I think we're, in our last few games, averaging sort of 2 goals a game, which I think is a very good sign. We're certainly trying to be as positive as we can with our play. I don't think too many teams are attacking or have an attacking intent as we have. And we're going to keep that up as long as we can.
No point meant here, but you were a little bit late for this press conference this morning. We had a little chat between us. Well, we were happily waiting for it. We all kind of pooled an idea of what you might be doing, and it all seemed to come around John Joe O'Toole. We thought you might be just finishing off the paperwork there.
No, I was just getting the dog settled. We're just coming from training, so the injured players, whatever, couldn't train this morning. Took her for a little half an hour over the back, and she just come back up the stairs. So I was just getting her back settled in the office, making sure she's got a drink and she was comfy. Which I have to say is far more important. If I have to keep you waiting for a few minutes, then so be it.
Right, what about the John Joe O'Toole situation, which you nicely dodged there? What's actually happening at the moment? Is it a three-way chat? You and the chairman, you and John Joe O'Toole, or agents, of course?
Yeah, it's all very amicable. We're just trying to get a deal, but that is acceptable. But he has a very, very good offer from a team in the league above. So it is going to be difficult for us, I think, to match that deal, but we're still talking and we're still trying. He's officially on contract with us until the 22nd of January, I think. So he's got another sort of nearly 2 weeks with us, which we hope he'll keep playing, and then we can keep working on things. But as I said at the weekend, I think a decision's got to be made in the next few days.
Yeah, looking at the home form, it's been absolutely superb, especially in recent months. What can you put your finger on why that is? Is it to do with confidence of playing at home? Fans maybe playing for the last 2 or 3 months or so, or is it a combination of all those things?
Yeah, and I would also say the defeats that we had at home this season, some of them were very unfair and unjust. I think we lost at home to Barrow with a penalty. Was it a penalty that didn't think? It was the Harrogate game. We should have had 2 penalties and ended up losing with 9 men. So even some of the defeats at home this season were unjust, and I just think it's evened itself out, and we're getting a little bit of our rewards. And you talk about the importance of decisions. You know, the offside one on Saturday. We haven't had one go against us, in that way for a few weeks. One went against us Saturday and could have affected the game.
Yeah, but it certainly looked like it did in the end. Looking at the patches of play that you've had, particularly in recent weeks, and again against Middlesbrough on Saturday, it looks like you're playing with real confidence going forward. And I suppose the final piece of the jigsaw at the moment is making the most of situations, like you alluded to earlier.
Yeah, definitely, because our play is so good. It's not just lumping it into the box and fighting for scraps, putting Ollie Hawkins up there and playing off him. Some of our play all over the pitch. When you have Quinn, Sturck, Maris and people like Jason Law coming on, you know that we're not going to be a team that's going to be launching it. I think every one of our players is comfortable on the ball. I just keep stressing to them, you've got to have the confidence to keep playing, even in that first 20 minutes, which was we didn't play. And that's the most disappointing aspect of it. But just keep playing and keep playing to our strengths, which is going forward.
Yeah. A quick word on Jason Law. He's obviously started against Hartlepool on Boxing Day, came on and made an immediate impact against Middlesbrough as well. We started seeing the Jason Law that we saw towards the back end of last season, where he was one of the first names on the team sheet, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he, not intentionally or consciously, took 3 months off. And he hasn't quite been from the start of the season anywhere near where he was the end of last season or he is now, which is why he hasn't been in the team. I just said to him this morning, stay on it now. Keep your performances at that level and you'll stay in the squad and in and around the team coming on or starting. He can be an important player for us in the next 24 games, and when we're putting our squad together now for January, he's in it.
We were just talking about the possibility of the incoming transfer. You said last week you'd probably bring in at least a couple to freshen things up. How far down the road on any of those are you as we're in the second week of the transfer window?
Well, we've been sort of concentrating mainly on preparing for the cup game, and it'll depend on outs and everything. So we've made a few calls, but most players were cup tied anyway for the weekend. So now we step up our efforts this week in order to try and do some business.
You mentioned there that one of them would be a striker. What other areas are you looking to try to get some backup on? I
think just generally cover all over the pitch, and not necessarily covers. Obviously, people just come and challenge for first team places. So I would say, we need sort of a defender to come in. And as I say, it will depend on who goes out in terms of the young lads. We've got a situation with Ryan Burke where we haven't seen enough of him to make a judgment on him yet. So if we can bring some cover in at left back for Stephen McLaughlin, then he maybe could go out and play some games on loan. Keaton Ward needs to go out and play on loan, play on some games. So as we sort of get this business done, then we'll get hopefully 2 or 3 in to cover them.
Is there an element of waiting for O'Toole's decision as well in terms of what you might be able to spend?
Of course, because that's if we take JJ as well, then you don't need another centre half coming in. We're still waiting on Will Forrester as well. We'd like to sort of redo that loan, but Stoke are sort of saying they want to see what business they do in the next 10 days as to whether they'll let him back out or not. So it's everybody's sort of spinning plates and waiting on each other.
Superb, lovely.
Okay, lovely. Thank you.